Well, it'll make total sense that your coach would be able to adjust your diet based on how they're watching you train, or even if it was in a video or if they're writing your workouts. So that makes total sense, I guess. When you say she's high volume in a short amount of time, how long are your workouts generally?
Depends what they are, obviously, like certain leg day or back day, sometimes a little bit longer, but between an hour, 15 minutes, usually enough to kind of get it in.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, there's certain workouts that we'll do just straight sets, traditional straight sets.
Yep.
And then some of the stuff is just massive superset stuff or drop sets, where it's the 5 sets of 10, where I'm only doing 10-second rests between each drop. And it's 50 reps for one exercise, just hammering it out.
Yeah.
So, by the end of it, you're just gassed,
So you're doing like super high volume. You're not really counting like failure sets only. Kind of all of your sets are working sets almost, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy that somebody like you at that kind of goes against what a lot of us talk about on the podcast, because, guys like Ian and James and Ben, they do a lot of top set stuff where they do a lot of feeders and then like one really top set, kind of like almost like a Dorian Yates style.
Yeah. And I believe in that. I think that works really well too.
Yeah.
I think that works well, especially when you have more, I think more off-season style, especially where you're trying to conserve, calories and use them to build, and not just try to burn them, but that extra calories are going to push through that main set, and you're going to be stronger, and you could, probably go a little bit harder than you would pre-contest.
So would you say that you kind of marry the two? Like you do a little bit of both? Like you might do the lower volume stuff in the off season?
Yeah, a little bit more straight sets. And I definitely back down. Like right now I'm training 6 days a week. Off season, I'm 4 days a week.
That's kind of old school. Is that Gina's influence? Because a lot of times nowadays, if you ask a guy, like, what's the difference between your off season and prep training? They'll just say, oh, they're the same. Yeah. Most guys will keep the same kind of program all the way through the show. A lot of guys don't do the old school thing, which is like back off a little bit in the off season and then go higher volume during prep. Yeah. So is that Gina's influence?
A little bit. And I started incorporating that, like, hey, let's back it down. I felt stronger in the gym when I was in kind of off with the extra rest, the rest of my nervous system, and kind of, I was able to get everything in that I wanted to do and accomplish with training in the off season, but allowing my body more rest. And I think a lot of the younger bodybuilders and everybody, we kind of have that more is better mentality, but doing to
kind of see how that looks.
Yeah.
What is Gina's? I was actually curious. What does Gina's diet look like? Is it low carb, traditional, or is it a little bit of fat? Or how does she what's the general idea?
She likes the food because the training again. She's matching my training with my nutrition, so it's high volume. It's a lot of work in calorie expenditure with my training. So she does feed me. There's times where I sent her an email back. I said, Gina, could you pull some food out? Because I can't eat all this. Like, how many times are you telling your coach to take food away
during prep? During prep, you're saying that?
Yeah. So, overall, she's pretty. It's like a lower fat, moderate protein, moderate carb, and then we carb cycle a little bit where we'll bring not significant. It may be a 50 carb drop between each day, maybe 3-day rotation.
Sure.
But overall, I'm the kind of guy where if I go low carb, like I'll just flatten out and I'll look soft and terrible. So I need to have the carbs with it, but there's that sweet spot where it'll keep enough fullness, but in a sweet spot to lose body fat. Enough fat to carry me through to not be totally brain dead, but definitely a lower fat diet. I'm not, my fat through a day, whatever fat I have in maybe like some lean bison. And
so it's not added fat. Like you're not adding avocado and
avocado is I do about, I think 1 avocado a day is what like my fats. And then I do a little bit of like whole egg in the morning and then some like almond butter. And that's, but not like a lot of fat.
Gina sounds old school. I like that. She's
definitely old school. She's definitely old school. I think she's blended a little bit of old school, new school, and what's kind of proven to work over time. And she comes from an old school background, her trainer was real old school. So, like put on the sweats and the hoodie for cardio and sweat your ass off kind of thing. And let's go pose after. And so it's definitely the old school approach, but as shit works.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.